The Man Who Killed Kennedy, a play by Darren DeBari. The date is November 24, 1963. Two men sit in an interrogation room at a table across from each other. One man is a plainclothes detective named Davis, in his mid-40s. The other is a man in his early 20s wearing a white undershirt and slacks. His name is Frank and he looks exhausted. Davis stands and walks around the table to where Frank is sitting.
Let's hear it again. How many times can we go over this? As many as I say. Jesus. I thought you didn't believe in God. Only when I'm angry do I use his name. Very cute. Now, where were you at the time of the shooting, Frank? In the warehouse, Detective Davis. Where in the warehouse? The same place I told you I was last time. Come on, it's been a long day. A very long day. Stop stalling. I was on the staircase when I heard the shots. Did you see anyone on the stairs? No. When I got to the bottom, I looked up and saw Victoria Adams and Sandra Stiles walking down the stairs. Was anyone with them? No. Then where did you go? The lunchroom. And who was there? A police officer. I didn't know his name. Enroy Truly. Truly was a superintendent of the building, right? Check. Who else was there? Lee. He was drinking a Coke. Are you sure? About the Coke or Lee? Wise ass. Yes to both. And what was said? The cop asked Truly if Lee was an employee. And what did Truly say? Yes. And then they both left? Yes. What did Lee do after they left? Muttered something, I think, in Russian. Do you speak Russian? No, but I know Lee does. He sometimes says something he didn't want our boss to hear, always makes us laugh. And what do you think he muttered when Truly and the policeman left? Probably called them assholes, I don't know, but it didn't sound positive. You know Lee is charged for murdering a Dallas policeman? Yes. And for shooting the president? Yes. Do you think he shot the president? No. You seem positive. I am. I was walking down the stairs at the time, and when I got to the lunchroom, he was there. How could he have shot the president? You realize you're the only one who thinks this. Am I? Yes. Is that why I'm here? No. Why am I here again? Because of your associations. You know a Jack Ruby? Yes. From where? The Carousel Club. And who owns the Carousel Club? Jack Ruby. Everyone in Dallas knows that. What did you do for Mr. Ruby? I was a courier. You know this already. Just wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. Well, I've already been arrested for it once. And conveniently let go. You cops know better than anyone about Jack Ruby. What is that supposed to mean? Make of it as you wish. Let me make you aware of something. Just an hour ago, Lee Harvey Oswald was shot in the Dallas garage by Jack Ruby. He's dead. What? I guess that got your attention. Jesus. Why do you think Ruby would do this? I have no idea. Not even a wild guess? They must have had something on him. On Ruby? Yep. And who is they? I think I'd like to see a lawyer. Why? It's my right. Oswald wanted a lawyer too. He never got one. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Excuse me? You heard me. The president is killed. Oswald didn't do it, and for some reason he shoots a Dallas policeman. J.D. Tippit. I knew him. He was a good man, and he was my friend. Well, Oswald said he was a patsy. Jesus, I can't believe he's dead. I'm not surprised Ruby shot him. The whole country is probably relieved. No one in Dallas, I'm sure. What? You and I both know no one in Dallas is crying over Kennedy. My wife voted for him. Yeah, I would say that's about it. Let me ask you something. Where was Oswald shot again? The Dallas garage. What? Ruby knows everyone in the Dallas Police Department. Someone probably let him in to shoot Oswald. You've got a lot of crazy ideas, you know that? No crazier than a man innocent of shooting the President of the United States being murdered just a few days after. Innocent? You heard him speak Russian. Speaking Russian makes him guilty? We don't need anyone speaking Russian these days. So Lee Harvey Oswald is dead. Case closed. That's about the size of it. Even though I saw him during the shooting. What difference does that make now? What difference does it make now? The man didn't shoot the president and he's dead. I don't give a shit if he shot the president. He killed my friend. I'm sorry about Tippett. I'm sure you are. Why would I not be? You're an odd duck. They told me you would be. They? You know what I mean. Your superiors. The ones who are suddenly so fascinated in me. They want this thing cleaned up. Can you blame them? Oh, I'd say it was cleaned up the second Lee Harvey Oswald hit the pavement in the Dallas garage. If I were you, I wouldn't mention seeing Oswald at the time of the shooting. Are you kidding me? Think of your wife. Hey, you leave Kathleen out of this.
Frank stands up angrily and points at Davis, who grabs his arm and twists it behind his back.
You forget yourself, sir. I'm the detective and you're the suspicious character. Hey, don't go threatening my wife. This is Texas, son. I can do whatever the hell I like.
Davis lets Frank go.
Now, I'm warning you not to say anything about seeing Oswald. If you do, there will be consequences. I don't understand this. I mean, whose side are you on? Doesn't make a difference. What's done is done. Kennedy is dead. Oswald is dead. Tippett is dead. You just consider yourself lucky that I was kind enough to give you a warning. You ignore that warning and you and your wife will pay for it. Is that clear enough? Yes, it is. See? Now that wasn't so hard. Now you may not believe me, but I like you, son. And I don't want to see you get hurt. The people I answer to would have no trouble doing the hurting. I don't understand this at all. You don't have to understand it. You just have to stay quiet. That is why I was brought here, wasn't it? Is anyone else who knew Oswald being warned off as well? Only special ones get warnings. And what makes me so special? Because only you and I know you saw Oswald at the time of the shooting. Unless you told someone else. Your wife, maybe? No, sir, I didn't tell her or anyone. You know what, Frank? I believe you. I really do believe you love your wife, and I really think you will wisely take my warning seriously. I will. Good. Now you can go. Really? Really. And the quicker the better. Thank you.
The date is March 25th, 1979. We see Frank dressed with a suit and tie. He's in a small apartment watching TV as we hear the television. We hear the voice of a reporter.
The House Select Committee on Assassinations has published its final report and stated John F. Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy, primarily relying on acoustic analysis of a police dictabelt recording that suggested a second gunman fired from the grassy knoll. However, the committee was unable to identify the specific individuals or groups involved.
Frank gets up, turns the TV off and shakes his head. There is a knock at the door. He opens it, looks shocked and steps back as Davis enters. Frank falls into his chair. Davis smiles, finds a chair across from him and sits.
It's been a long time. It certainly has. Don't be scared, Frank. I was sorry to hear about your wife. Sincerely, I was. I appreciate that. Cancer is an ugly disease. Indeed it is. My brother went that way. Sorry. Me too. But life goes on. You thought I had a gun, didn't you? Yes. I guess I can't blame you for that. A lot of people have died since we last talked. Well, it's been 16 years. People do die. And some die very mysteriously. But not you. Not me. Not yet. Don't worry, Frank. I'm not here to punch your ticket. Then why are you here? I told you I always liked you, and I wanted to personally give you my condolences about Kathleen. I appreciate that. I'm sure I have you to thank that she didn't die much earlier. I never told my superiors. We called them they, didn't we? Yes, we did. Anyway, you can say I'm getting a bit sentimental in my old age. You still a detective? No, but then again, I never was. What? Did you ever take a look at the two guys who picked you up that day, or the car they drove you to the police station in, or even the police station I interrogated you in? Not really. Everything happened so fast that day, plus the world was reeling from the death of the president. They weren't real cops, and the police station was just an empty building with an office in the back with a table and two chairs. They brought you in the back, remember? And you left the same way. I just never noticed. I was so happy you let me go. And I'm glad I did. A lot of people died mysteriously. Yeah, that's what I heard. Heard my ass. You got me there. They told me all about accidental deaths, suicides, and some murders and such. I've followed it. I'm sure you have. Witnesses to the Tippit killing were killed or disappeared or changed their stories. Did you really know Tippit? Was he really your friend? No, he wasn't. I was just hired, just like the other two men who picked you up that day. I was hired, as many were, to interrogate any known associates to Lee Harvey Oswald. You couldn't have interviewed everyone from the warehouse. Please. History will always know that place as the Texas School Book Depository. And you were the only one from that place they wanted interviewed. Why? Because you also had a connection to Ruby, remember? And somehow an Oswald-Ruby connection wouldn't be good for the public to hear? That's right, decided by they. They decide a lot, don't they? Indeed they do. I was brought in to see how well connected you were to both. Thankfully, you only knew Oswald peripherally and only worked for Ruby once. It's a strange business you work in. Indeed. I guess it doesn't matter to you that even the House Select Committee on Assassinations now believe there was a conspiracy to kill Kennedy. A probable conspiracy, yes. What are they hiding? If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Oh, that's comforting. My job is not to make anyone comfortable. My job is to get at the truth and make the other guy nervous. You and I both know Oswald didn't do it. I could have cracked this whole thing wide open. Well, that's what the reporter Dorothy Kilgallen said, the one who interviewed Jack Ruby. And look how she ended up. Very sad. An overdose, I believe. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Don't you believe the official story? No. Good man. I knew you weren't an idiot. I still don't know why you took a chance on me. I mean, if I opened my mouth about seeing Oswald during the shooting, then all the dominoes would have fallen. Actually, you would have probably ended up in a sanitarium or would have been found dead under strange circumstances. That still doesn't explain why you didn't tell they about me. Leverage. Excuse me? Keeping you alive. I will forever have leverage over them. If they ever try to disappear me, kill me, or try to make me accidentally overdose, I will always have you. And they'll need me to get to you, or at least long enough for me to make my escape. This sounds insane. This world is insane, and you haven't even seen a quarter of the shit that I have. I've been sent to do jobs and never knew why. That's just the nature of the business. But the Kennedy thing was different. I had never seen my superiors so spooked. And they were all spooks. So Oswald was a patsy, like he always said he was. You know that better than anyone. Kennedy's death was scary in a way I had never seen before. And I have seen a lot of shit. Keeping you alive turned out to be good for you and helped me sleep at night. It was my insurance policy at a time I watched a lot of good people go down. And I swore I would never be one of them. So you were always my ace in the hole, if they wanted to get me out of the picture. You certainly have become paranoid. These are paranoid times, and they will only get worse. Well, thanks for the pep talk. I'm always glad to be the guy who could have changed history and set the record straight on the Kennedy assassination. I'll just stay in my apartment with my thumb up my ass for the sake of national security and some crazy spook who's using me for leverage to save his own skin. Now, that's the idea, Frank. That's why I came here. To make sure you still knew your place. Well, I gotta get going now. And don't you worry, boy. You just keep laying low. You got a great job and a lot of money, and hey, you may even marry again. Just keep your mouth shut about Oswald. I'd hate for you to be found dead like those poor bastards who mysteriously died the day they were called to testify for the House Select Committee on Assassinations, and the rest of the ones who were just at the wrong place at the wrong time during the Kennedy assassination. Jesus Christ, you are certifiable. You have to be to do my job. God bless and be safe. And God bless America.
The date is December 20th, 1991. We see a movie theater marquee with the letters JFK written in big letters. Standing in front of it is Frank, in his 50s now. He's wearing a sweater and jeans. It is dark. He seems frozen. Davis approaches now in his early 70s wearing a trench coat and hat.
I just knew you'd show up. Well, you haven't lost your sense of humor. How are you? You look like you've seen a ghost. I've been standing in this parking lot for an hour. I caught the last showing tonight at JFK. It just brought so much back. Yeah, I felt the same way. I was sitting 2 rows behind you. Were you following me? No. Should I believe you? No. Jesus, you're dressed like Mr. X from the movie. That was not intentional. But I did think Donald Sutherland was excellent. Donald Sutherland is always excellent. True. So, are you here to make sure I keep quiet again? Nope. Really? Yep. What are you saying? I'm saying most of they are dead now. I'm getting older, and the Kennedy assassination was 28 years ago now. Time is moving on. What did you think of the movie? Oh, I think it's going to win 2 Oscars for Best Cinematography and Best Film Editing. Besides that, I thought it was funny that Jim Garrison played Earl Warren. Come on. It's Oliver Stone. He was impressive. The cast was great, and there was some real fantastic stuff. And some real bullshit. But it left me spellbound. You should become a critic. I know the real story, and so do you. I just know Oswald didn't do it. You know the rest. True. But this film will keep people talking at the water cooler longer than they normally would. In fact, this film might even bring about some legislation that may open up some of the files to the public, clear the redactions. You never know. Oh, that's very optimistic of you. I've lived long enough to, what do they say? Not give a fuck. And I've lived in fear of you. We all live in fear. You're not so special. Oh, easy for you to say. If you had seen the things I had, your head would never stop spinning. Anyway, fear keeps it all going. The government uses it to keep us all in line. Look at history. This is nothing new. A philosophical spook. How refreshing. Can you at least give me a hint? I mean, was the movie close? Yes. Really? Closer than anything I've seen. Seriously? Well, Stone blamed everybody at the end. When you blame everyone, you're going to be right at least one time. Damn, I thought I was finally going to get an answer. You already know the answer. Oswald didn't do it. But the government wants us to believe he did. And what does that tell you? That the government lied. Governments always lie. If they didn't, I wouldn't have a job. But this is big. Everything is big. Until the next big thing comes along. So many people have died. I mean, after the assassination, before and after the Warren report and the Garrison investigation in New Orleans, before and after the House Select Committee on Assassinations, people die. This is not news. No, this is fucking tragic. And so is the cover-up. Don't get yourself all worked up. Are you kidding? That whole event on November 22nd, 1963 changed this country. If Kennedy had lived, Kennedy was no saint. Please don't try to sound like one of those. Him and his brother at least got us out of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Well, that is the past, Frank. Well, look at the marquee behind us, huh? It looks like the past has reared its ugly head again. Look, I came here to tell you to just get on with your life. Well, that's a hell of a thing for you to say to me after all this time. I thought it would put you at ease. After all this time? I told you I always liked you, Frank. I'm getting older. You're getting older. What difference does it make what happened in Dealey Plaza on November 22nd, 1963? No. What? No! No what? I'm not letting this go. This was one of the most important things that happened to me in my lifetime, and a country changed because of it. What difference does it make now? Are you going to solve the crime? Are you going to go down that rabbit hole of conspiracy theories the rest of America has? It was better than doing nothing like you. You don't know what I've done. Some horrible things to help keep this country going. Yeah, well, maybe they should give you a medal one day for closing your eyes to the murder of the President of the United States.
The date is March 30th, 1992. Frank is in his apartment. He is watching TV as we hear the Oscar host's voice.
Thank you and good night.
Frank turns off the TV with the remote as the door opens and Davis walks in.
Shit. Sorry about the dramatic entrance. JFK should have won. I'm kind of glad Silence of the Lambs did. Though I did really think that Beauty and the Beast might sneak in there, though. JFK did win 2 Oscars for Best Cinematography and Best Film Editing. You said it would. Well, I know things. Yeah, I know. You were pretty mad the last time I saw you. Can you blame me? No, I can't. And I know how you feel. I know what it's like to have to keep secrets. I did it for a living for a long time. I retired a few months back. Really? Really. And I'll tell you something else. You were the only one I was ever even close to being straight with. Well, I guess that's as close as ever you'll ever come to a compliment. Take it as you wish. Was it all worth it? Some of it was. That's good enough for me. Take a seat, will you? Thanks. You don't look so good. I'm not. Cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. Thanks for saying that. It killed my brother. It killed your poor wife. It's just my turn now. Is there a chance that... Nope. And I won't be around for the hard part. A bullet to the brain, just going to do myself right in. And when I do, it won't be in any newspapers. And no one will ever know that I just came and went. And no one will know what I did for this country, right or wrong. But at least you'll know I was here. I don't even know your name. Ron Jarvis. I was recruited as a teenager because I was very smart. I was recruited by they who worked in and out of the shadows. They trained me to do the same thing, to be everywhere and nowhere. Often I would be told to do a job but never told why. In the early 60s, I was told to watch over this real smart guy that they recruited. What made this guy so special? He was very smart, very young, and he spoke Russian. Lee Harvey Oswald. Yep. We moved him around a lot. He even defected to Russia and was allowed back in this country with a wife. And he wasn't the only one. There were others. Others? Others who would do things for they in other countries. Oh, they had their fingers in a lot of pies. You could call them puppet masters because they had their hands on all the strings. Here in the United States, Cuba, Vietnam, you name it. So ultimately, they make all the decisions. They are just a tool. They have but one purpose. Chaos. Why? It's the oldest story ever. Profit. Remember Hal Holbrook in the parking garage and All the President's Men? He said, follow the money. It's all about the money. Always has been and always will be. They make sure to know everything about everyone and to do whatever they must do to keep the money coming. They'll help you topple a government, frame a senator, destroy a small town, and even kill a president. Nothing is off limits, and the money is consistently changing hands. And you have spent your life being a part of all this? Yes, I have. I've only realized in the last few years how it all works. Well, most of it anyway. And it's because I'm smart, and I've stayed alive, and I've stayed informed. You were the only chance I ever took. And now you're the only one who will ever know I existed. I guess I always wanted someone to know. Well, you said you always liked me, since the second you walked into that fake interrogation room in Texas. So who killed Kennedy? The same thing that's been killing this country for years. Greed. The same thing that keeps us all on opposite sides. The same thing that keeps us fighting while the ones who control, they continue to count their money. This has always been the way of the world. And while everyone is still trying to figure out if the shots came from the grassy knoll or the Texas school book depository, they will continue to cause chaos. And those who order them will just get fatter and richer. Oswald didn't do it. But only you know that for sure. If you opened your mouth back then, you'd be as dead as JFK. Oswald was murdered the day I met you. He was smart, and he could have had a future. When you walked into that fake interrogation room and told me you saw Oswald in the lunchroom, I knew they would kill you if I told them. I wasn't going to let another young man die. I thought you kept me alive for leverage, in case anything ever went south for you. I did that too. And all these years later, we are both still here. But soon I'll be gone. And you'll still have the rest of your life to live. This'll be my last visit. I gotta get going. What do I do, Jarvis? Do I tell the world the truth about Oswald or just let it die with me? Well, there are so many theories, books, and investigations about the JFK conspiracy. So you're saying some might believe me and some might think I'm a crackpot, just another conspiracy theorist? That's about the size of it. Plus, I'm the only one who could help you prove it. But I'll be dead. And there are absolutely no records that I ever existed. The absolute truth dies with me. Goodbye, Frank. Goodbye, Jarvis. When Jarvis shut the door, I thought and I thought. I never told my story. What was the point all these years later anyway if I did? Jarvis was probably right. There were too many conspiracy theories, and way too many people have died over the years because of that horrible day in Dallas. Maybe we should all just move on. But the problem is that I couldn't. The fact is, I lied in that interrogation room back in Dallas in 1963. I said I was on the staircase when I heard the shots. I wasn't. I was at the 6th floor window on the southeastern corner of the Texas School Book Depository shooting the President of the United States. I'm just glad Jarvis never figured that one out.